We started our own business by accident or by necessity. We just didn't look good on paper at all. We only had a few college classes.
It turns out if you don't have a degree, you're unhireable, so.
Oh no! No one would hire us, so we hired ourselves.
We chose the name Hoodzpah because Hood is our last name, and we grew up in Syracuse, so Jewish terms were very normative to us, so we would say Hoodzpah all the time, and it meant bold and brave and confident. And that's the kind of design that we wanted to do. We wanted to be doing the stuff we knew we could do. Shine on is obviously our motto. It's so important that I got it tattooed on my hands. We were just thinking on that Pink Floyd song, Shine On You Crazy Diamond. And I definitely think it shows through in the kind of work that we do. Once a job comes in, first we figure out the point person because we're all about maximizing profitability, so only one person on each job, no wasting time. But after that, mainly first things is just getting the sketchbooks out. And then we always print out the concepts because when you print it, it's completely different than the way it looks on your screen.
Printing it out is always like that harsh reality. Finally see it for what it is, and that's really helpful to get the best possible product out.
When you're looking at a PDF and you're just scrolling through, it's really hard to see, each thing comparatively. But if you print out, say, 4 different logo options and you put them up next to each other, you're able to kind of take a step back and look at them each for what they are and then kind of compare them together. And that's just something that's really hard to do on a computer screen.
So at least you know when you print something out and you present it to the client and you're looking at the same proof, and that's something that print does that you can't always rely on with all the different digital medias and screens.
We used to print posters via screen printing, and there's just a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot that can go wrong because you're spending all this money on 100 prints because that's usually the minimums.
Now having that control of being able to print whenever we want, whatever paper we want, testing different papers, different designs.
Using as many colors as we want.
Yeah. Printing stuff that we just like for us, just having that much more control makes it way more hyper-focused, and there's way less risk involved because we're not having to print 100 of something and hoping that it has the reaction that we want it to have. So there's way less upfront costs, less risk of just products sitting on the shelf that people don't want. With our Epson printer that we have at the office now, I know that when I print out what I normally would screen print, that it's gonna look almost exactly like a screen print, and there's none of the banding, the color is always even. It looks like a Pantone ink was just screen printed on there. It's so consistent. I've never seen that with a printer before. It's funny because as a designer, you're kind of an egomaniac, or you're very type A. Like you're controlling. Yes, you're like, this is my brand, my baby. And so being able to control what paper it's on, to know that the color and the quality of the print's gonna last archivally, like those kinds of things are so key to someone who is so type A about it being printed perfectly, that you know that when it goes off into the world, it will not be tarnished.
If you print something, it says so much more than just making a graphic that you just share online for a day or a second. 200 years from now, people will still be appreciating that thing, and so permanence and quality is really important to us when we print.
I can print something out that I love, that I made, that I cared about, and try and peddle my wares, and if someone else, buys it and puts it on their wall and hands it down to their kids or sells at a garage sale, it's slowly permeating through society. And that's a legacy that I'll be really proud to have.
It's really hard to have a legacy if you don't have a physical thing to remind people that you're there. It's just fleeting otherwise. A JPEG isn't going to remind somebody that you made this amazing thing. The print that's hung on the wall, something that somebody loved so much, they bought it and they hung it over their mantle. They wanted to share it that much. That's the kind of thing that has a legacy. At Hoodzpah, we print things. It's part of who we are. It's part of our brand.